This happened 3 years ago at a department store in Tokyo. When I was working as a security guard, I only worked there for about half a year before quitting. The detailed reasons will be explained later. At that time, my main task was to patrol the inside of the building and stand guard in the parking lot. Additionally, to prevent theft or other accidents, surveillance cameras were installed on every floor. I was originally on the day shift, but due to a continuous shortage of night shift staff, my supervisor arranged for me to be on the night shift permanently, and I didn't mind much. Considering that the night shift pay was higher, wasn't that better? The night shift was from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. The most difficult thing at first was fighting against sleepiness, but sleep habits can be adapted to quickly with persistence. My job was to patrol each floor after the store closed from 9 to 10 p.m. There would still be some store clerks cleaning up, but after 10 p.m. they would all leave, leaving the entire mall empty. After the patrol, I could just stay in the security room, watching the surveillance cameras, and do whatever I wanted. Then I just needed to patrol the mall again at 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. To be honest, I found the midnight patrol very painful at first, because being alone in the dark mall was really terrifying. It took me almost half a year to slowly get used to it. At this time, a temporary worker named Sato joined the night shift. There were 3 of us on the night shift, and I was assigned to be Sato's mentor. At first, I patrolled with him and taught him the job. Sato was very serious about his work and learned quickly, so he was able to act on his own soon. Unexpectedly, Sato encountered a terrifying accident not long after. That night, Sato, Yamamoto, and I were on duty. Yamamoto and I stayed in the security room. Yamamoto fell asleep quickly. Sato went out to patrol alone. I sipped coffee, while occasionally checking the surveillance to confirm Sato's condition. The department store had a total of 9 floors, but the 9th floor only had old warehouses and a door leading to the rooftop. So after patrolling the 8th floor, we would take the elevator directly from the 8th floor back to the security room on the 1st floor. But that night I saw in the surveillance that Sato was motionlessly staring at the stairs leading to the 9th floor. I immediately contacted Sato via the communicator and asked him what was going on. Sato, staring at the stairs to the 9th floor, said, "What exactly is that?" Before he finished speaking, I heard the sound of the elevator arriving at the floor through the communicator. I immediately checked the other surveillance and saw the large commercial elevator next to the stairs inexplicably opened on the 8th floor. The fluorescence in the elevator illuminated the entire floor. The department store had passenger elevators and commercial elevators. The passenger elevators could only go up to the 8th floor, not the 9th. We usually only used the passenger elevators to go up and down. Strangely, the commercial elevator that could go to the 9th floor opened that night. I suddenly felt very uneasy, and the situation gave me an ominous premonition. I notified Sato again with the walkie-talkie, telling him to come back quickly. But Sato did not respond. No, to be more precise, he mumbled something, but the walkie-talkie was filled with noise and I couldn't hear clearly. Sato, as if attracted by something, walked into the commercial elevator. Seeing that something was seriously wrong, I immediately woke Yamamoto, who was sleeping next to me. At first, Yamamoto nonchalantly rubbed his eyes while listening to me, but when I mentioned that Sato was on the 9th floor, his expression froze instantly. Then he immediately looked at the electronic clock on the wall, which showed 1:58. Yamamoto turned on the monitor for the 9th floor, and the space of the 9th floor appeared on the screen. I only found out today that there were surveillance cameras on the 9th floor as well. To the left of the surveillance camera was the commercial elevator and the stairs which led to the rooftop. Sato had already arrived on the 9th floor, standing in front of the stairs with his back to the camera. He seemed to be staring at the door leading to the rooftop. After confirming Sato's location, Yamamoto quickly took out his phone and contacted the section chief. As Yamamoto was explaining the situation over the phone, the surveillance camera began to shake violently. The screen kept flickering. Then Sato first convulsed and then ran to the rooftop door at an astonishing speed. The screen kept flickering incessantly. Then Sato convulsed slightly at first, and then ran to the rooftop door at an astonishing speed. He started pounding on the door forcefully. He threw the flashlight to the ground. He forcefully turned the doorknob and occasionally swayed violently from side to side, as if he was possessed. I could only watch that mad scene wide-eyed, feeling as if what was before me was a nightmare. But Yamamoto calmly jotted something down, then picked up the intercom and set the broadcast location to the 9th floor. Then he called out a strange name into the microphone. "Mr. Sasaki, your family is waiting for you. Mr. Sasaki, your family is waiting for you." Seeing Yamamoto say such inexplicable things into the microphone, I really thought he had gone mad like Sato. But Sato in the surveillance showed a subtle change after hearing these words. His violent movements slightly eased. Yamamoto added, "Namiko is already dead. She's no longer there." Sato's movements completely stopped after hearing this. Although it wasn't clear what had happened, it seemed that the situation had been brought under control. Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, Sato lunged at the camera. With his eyes rolled back, he laughed and shouted something at us. Then the screen went black, only reflecting us collapsed on the ground. I stood up, supporting myself on Yamamoto's shoulder. A few minutes later, the section chief with a pale face came over. Behind him was a person dressed as a Shinto priest, along with the deputy general manager of the department store. After listening to Yamamoto's explanation, the four of them hurried to the 9th floor. They instructed me not to speak of what happened tonight. 2 days after the accident, I heard from Yamamoto. They found Sato crouching on the ground on the 9th floor. The Shinto priest tried to exorcise him, but failed. He said that Sato's body was now just a shell, and Sato had lost consciousness since then. Later, Yamamoto told me that the location of the department store was not very good, with many evil spirits gathered there. Many strange things happened right after it was built. So to appease the evil spirits there, the company set up a shrine on the roof to worship the divine body and held an exorcism ceremony every year. But a few years ago, a female employee of the department store suffered from depression due to bullying by other female employees and eventually committed suicide by jumping from the rooftop. For some unknown reason, at the time, she moved the divine body out of the shrine. Since then, people have continuously seen spirits near the rooftop. The company had to set up more containers filled with salt next to the door leading to the roof. The two plates of salt form a barrier. Although the evil spirits would always exist on the rooftop, they could not invade the department store through the barrier. The Shinto priest thought that on the night Sato had the accident, he probably discovered the barrier and was probably charmed by the ghosts on the rooftop. Later, Sato's family received a large sum of condolence money from the department store and the security company. It is said that the condolence money was actually a hush money for Sato's family, so this accident did not make the news. Sato's family did not sue the company either. By the way, I resigned from the company a month after the accident. The Sato incident was, of course, one of the reasons for my resignation. It was just a series of mutterings from Yamamoto that further solidified my decision to resign. He said that the Shinto priest told him that it would be better for you to resign earlier. When I asked Yamamoto for the reason, he replied like this: there were originally 2 piles of salt guarding the barrier, but after Sato's accident, only 1 remained. How long the barrier can hold there, I cannot say. I think you should hurry up and find the next job before something happens. After hearing what Yamamoto said, I resigned immediately. Now that department store still stands in the bustling district of Tokyo. I wonder if the spirits on the rooftop tonight are still bewitching others.